Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody out to our first live webinar for paboardreview.org. My name is Wes Norwood. I'm a physician assistant here in Utah, working with Joe Gilboy. We also have Marcus. We call him Zabo because nobody can pronounce his last name. He's our marketing web audio video guru. So today what we wanted to do is just do a quick introduction. I'll go over the agenda. We'll keep it under 10 minutes. One thing I wanted to do is let everybody know we have the website up. We have 90% of the content from Joe's lecture. That's 21 hours uploaded. We have a few things we still need to upload. Now you got to keep in mind the stuff that we're uploading, all the minutiae is taken out, all the pauses, all the minutes you'd be waiting around. So the content that we are adding is very compact, to the point, and organized. Marcus is going to go through the website, and then I'll tell you what we're going to be doing in the next few weeks and how to contact us.
Yeah, so just like to say a big thank you out to all of you that have joined in the last week. It's been a big success, and we're really excited about this product. And and going in line with Joe Gilboy's thought process and how he goes about doing his classes. His big emphasis is really to help people and to really get your mindset on how you want to pass the boards, get the PA, get through all this information and be confident about walking into your testing center and answering the questions the right way and having that the brain in the right position. That's why our logo has the brain in it, to give you that confidence that when you're answering those questions, whatever they might be, that you have the right way, the right mindset to go about answering those. So let me just start off real quickly, and this is our main page. A lot of you have already seen it, and we've got our home button. We've got the class schedule of what Joe's doing coming up in his classes. This will constantly be updated. And we have the About Us page, which is some basic information about Joe. And, our page is pretty raw right now. We have just the real guts of everything that are going on. And we don't, we're going to be constantly adding new things and look and feel. So look forward to some of that. So let's just dive in. Let's take a look at, so we have a couple things up front that you can go look at. We've got our practice test questions and our preview page. For those of you that have not signed up yet, you can go in and watch a couple of those. And if you're really interested, just shoot us an email, and we can kind of maybe even work with you on some things. So let's just dive right in. If you have your login, you just click right in and it'll take you to the main page, actually. Okay, so we've got our basic launch page. So when you get in, this is the what you're going to see once you log in. And we have the class lectures, which is basically the heart of the PA Board Review website. And if you look through these, they're a little organized in a different way. We have different pages in different places, but that's for a reason. Joe, if you've been to any of his lectures before, if you're recertifying, you're going to notice that he skips around his book. And so what we've done here is we've really gone through and cleaned out everything during one of those lectures that really doesn't pertain to what you need to be learning. And we've got pages that are in different order, but they follow kind of a mindset that Joe wants you to follow. And so I would recommend going through and looking at these in order at first, and then going back and taking the ones that you feel like you really need to work on and get into them that way. So on the intro page, let's just dive in real quick. We've got up here at the top is your audio file that you can play. and then we have the pages for that section laid out for you. If you notice right here, this little screen will pop up when you have a mouse, and you can click this little button right here, and it'll make it fit. And then you could scroll within the screen to, kind of follow along with what Joe's talking about. So let's just real quick, you can click the play button.
Good morning. Let's get some introductions out of the way so we can get this thing rolling because we got so much to do in the next 3 days. Okay, so my name's Joe. Vital stats, 55-year-old white male, lives in Irvine, California. Graduated from undergraduate school, University of Virginia in Charlottesville, 1981. Went to PA school at Duke University in 1982. Graduated July 29, 1984.
So, real quick, you can kind of get through get a feel for how Joe teaches and his great personality in getting you in the mindset of how to go through this. And so each one of these pages, if you can click on the next lecture or go back if you want, but let's go back to here. So you can go through all these and kind of get a feel for what you want to go through. I would, like I said before, just make sure you try to go through them all in a row in the order we have them in. All right, so we've got our download page, and you can download your PA board booklet, the full booklet. If you want to just have a digital copy of that, you can take a look at it here on the page. We've got some other documents that Joe has provided for you, and then we also have some other exam practice sites. And on that note, let's skip over and go to the testing center real quick. And this is something we're just adding to the site right now. We have some more that will be coming up, but we have testing sections that we've created for you. And let's just go in right into the first one right here. When you get to the first page, you have two options. You can enter your email address, or you could just hit next with the email just being blank. If you do enter your email address, at the end of the test, you will have you'll have an email sent to you with the test questions. And Wes, do you want to just go through this real quick? And
yeah, let's go through this real quick. So basically, we wanted to create an interactive way for you to test yourself. I know Joe goes through a lot of the questions in his exam, but I wanted to go back and test myself. So, for example, which of the following is a consistent predictor of diabetes, coronary heart disease, and mortality? Choose your answer. It's if you choose C, which is the correct answer, and click next, you go on to the next question. You can always go back, or D is the correct answer, and they'll bring you on to the next question. So you kind of walk through your test. You can see what percentage you're into the test. If you want to save it, down at the bottom right, there's a save button, and you have 28 days that you can go back and you can pick up where you've left off. So we're going to consistently be adding questions.
Yeah, and you can
as we go.
You can always come back in here and retake it at any time as well.
Yeah, retake it at any time. And then another cool thing is we can look at the stats. There's a stats that we are given on what questions were answered correctly, which questions weren't. So that way we can, maybe improve a topic or improve a subject that we're.
Yeah, and we'd love for you guys feedback wise. If you're interested, we can go through and talk about these things during the next webinar and kind of review where people. So we'd encourage you to take these tests as much as possible, kind of go through these. I mean, I'm not a PA and I don't know anything about these things, but I'm obviously answering these questions incorrectly.
Right. Yeah. So this is a cool way to kind of test yourself, get used to have you picked up on the information you're supposed to have retained from a certain section. Another cool thing that we put in here was an index of topics. Right now it's just a page with some page numbers and the actual disease states. You can do a control F if you're looking for something. I found myself when I was going through Joe's lectures, I would think about something would pop into my mind, and I'm like, what page was it on? I can't remember. So I built a index of topics, because a lot of the times the information, um, the more you the more you learn, uh, things start to kind of get jumbled up and they kind of overlap, and you want to be able to make those connections quickly and be able to jump to those pages or jump to your notes, and we'll be improving that also.
Yeah, we're gonna go through here and add quick links for you guys. A lot of this information is provided by Joe, and he's constantly updating it. And that's another great reason why, if you're on the online version of this, you're going to get a lot more than just being in the class. I mean, we encourage you to take the class as well, but having it online is going to allow you to get a lot of these updates and interact like we're doing right now. I see we've got a lot of people on here right now, and I bet a lot of you down the road, as we start doing more of these and having guest speakers and things on here, you're going to get a lot more out of the website and the information that we can provide for you.
And I'm glad you brought up. In my introduction, I didn't. I'm just going to quickly tell everybody kind of what brought about this website. I'm a PA. I'm in a specialty. I'm in asthma and allergy. I had to recertify. I had actually purchased a review questions online. I bought a course that kind of does this, and I just felt like I was rotely going through information after information after information, and nothing was sticking. Joe had taught our PA board class in 2008. They were brought in by Toro University, Nevada, to teach us, and Joe was just amazing as far as taking concepts. If you watch the hepatitis video, the antigen antibody concept, your immune system, something that most people make so complex and so complicated. Unless you're in immunology like myself, doing it every day, you're like, how do you wrap your mind around that? And he takes 10 minutes and you're presented with the subway, you're presented with the core, you're presented with the egg, and this is how your body responds. This is how you have how you tell chronic hepatitis versus somebody who's been immunized in 10 minutes. So I called Joe up. He invited me to come out to his class. My problem is I don't have a lot of time. Marcus and I previously had been doing some online live webinar meetings with the specialty doctor that I work with, because he doesn't have a lot of time, and it was a big hit. And I was talking with Joe. I goes like, Joe, why don't we get this stuff online? And he thought about it. It took a little while. Marcus and I went out to a few classes. In the meantime, I took my PA, my PANRE, my review boards. I passed with a lot of room to spare. So I credit a lot of Joe's his teaching style and his knowledge. I mean, we met somebody in Irvine who had been in one of his first classes out of Joe's living room. No page numbers. The booklet was small. This guy, he's been practicing for 15, 20 years, and he's still going back to Joe's classes because it's something it's a hurdle we need to overcome before, so we can keep our certification, keep licensed, keep working, and Joe just has those tools. So I'm a testament of, okay, I had already even bought all these other courses, and I just felt like I was just like, muddling through all this information that I don't use, and it wasn't, in a context that I could use, and Joe just did that for me. So here we are today, and the cool thing is, this is going to be a product of what we want as PAs, because, we don't have a lot of time. We have a lot of pressure and demands from a lot of different areas in our lives, and I just wanted a quick, fast, to the point way of getting recertified. And now this is kind of my goal, and my efforts now are to help other people do the same.
Well, and that's another thing too, is Joe is real adamant about you studying during the right time. I mean, some of you, I've been to 2 of his classes already, and the first thing he says is study at home or study in a place where it's quiet, where it's easy to remember stuff, and it's a good environment for learning. And what a perfect place, this website, to be able to find that quiet place and just start going through things. I mean, you can log into this stuff with your iPhone or your mobile device, whatever it might be, and just start listening to these things, and going through the classes and really just plugging this stuff into your brain. And Tim has a question about how many questions we actually have on our site. Wes, do you know where we're at on that?
Yeah, I think the number right now is around 450. 450 that we're going to be having available as far
Yeah,
as
and we're adding. Why don't you talk a little bit about the test questions and how that works, Wes? I'm kind of a neophyte on that, so.
okay. So the test questions are to because how do you prepare for a test? You to prepare for a test by mimicking how you're going to be presented on the day you go in and you go to the national testing center to take your test. So I think it's really important not that you just have the knowledge, but how to dissect and answer questions that are thrown at you. And what these are aimed at doing. Joe's big thing is not only having the first line therapy available, but if they don't give you the first line, what is the second or what is the third? So not just having one answer to a question, but a second and a third answer, diagnosing, key points in diagnosing, what are they looking for, what are they asking. I think the video for the chemotherapy was a good point. He doesn't spend 2 hours on chemotherapy drugs because it's an evolving therapy that nobody could ask questions on it. So why spend that time? So he really directs you on what are the most pertinent, high yield questions and answers, diagnosis, question, therapies, whatever they're looking for that disease state, pathology, EKGs. That's something.
Yeah, so like on our the blueprint page, right? He's got a breakdown of everything that we that the test questions are based on. He feels, right? Is that kind of
Right.
what we're looking
Yeah.
at
So
right
this is so the thing that makes Joe stand out from the rest is most sites or review classes or whatever, they'll walk through this NCC blueprint verbatim. They'll go cardiology and do all the cardiology first because it's the highest yield. And then they'll do pulmonology, and then they'll do, gastroenterology. But the thing that Joe does, two things. One, he jumps around because that's the way the test is. You're not going to be asked just cardiology in a row and pulmonology in a row. And he jumps around because he gets your mind used to it. And then he bridges the concepts that you need to make between different disease states. If you have
Yeah, like just on this hepatitis
yeah,
video, just go watch that. And I mean, yeah, there's a lot of people saying they love the video. That's great.
yeah,
But yeah, that's exactly it. You go watch this video of Joe and you get an idea of how he gets you in the mindset. And those of you that have taken classes from him, I mean, you're a testament, and you know how successful he is in getting you in the right mindset. So sorry to interrupt you, Wes. Go ahead.
No, you're good. So I think these guys should know. So I'm going to be good. Joe's teaching a class in Henderson, Nevada. That's my old stomping ground down in Toro. 2 weeks, the 27th, 28th, and 29th, he's teaching a class. I'm actually going down for the specific reason of, one, to get any new material he has on audio, on video, however we want to present it, and then two, I want to be able to maybe do some live streaming of some of the new topics that he has. We'll record them, but we'll stream them live from his class. So I think there's going to be a lot of cool new things that we're doing that I would like to do, because that's what I would like to have when I'm preparing for the test. And the thing is, Joe's always he's always thinking about this stuff. every single day. I mean, I don't think there's a day he's not
A
a
PA.
PA,
Yeah.
or in the ER. But as far as a test question goes, I mean, his research and his thought process and how am I going to present this concept so that they understand it. When we sat down with dinner, eating dinner with Joe when we were in Irvine, he says my mom was a school teacher and she would teach me in a very simple way, and I think he said that's where I picked up that trait, and it's
Yeah.
true. I mean, you go listen to the hepatitis video, and somebody without a medical background can understand it, but for us, that concept right there is one of hundreds of thousands of concepts we need to understand to be able to pass that test. So he's probably the best. I would stack him up against anybody else out there today. I would put my money down. I put my trust in him, but I would put it down any day. Maybe we should come up with some type of PA review challenge or something like that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. In fact, one of the things we'd really love to hear back from you guys, and that have already joined, we'd love to hear some of your critique of the site and some of the things we'd love to see you'd like to see changed. What's working for you, what's not working for you, and how we might improve this for you guys. I mean, we're all about, again, back to Joe's ethos, which is, provide you with a quality piece of learning material and get your brain in the right position. So I think that's where we really want to evolve. And I know you guys that have been on for this last month have seen the site change, and we're constantly doing that. We're going to be adding new things all the time. So I think what we'd like to do right now is kind of wrap it up, leave it open to some questions for you guys, and see if we can come up with maybe some ideas for the next go around. So you said you're going to be you're down there, Wes, down on the 27th, 29th, right?
27th, 28th, and 29th. I actually extended it 3 days. I decided if I'm going to go down, usually his last day is the day he does a lot of his special lectures, either whether it's on what is science, or he wants to do a new one called how to hunt as an ER PA. So I want to make sure I capture that, and because it's my old stomping ground, I get to see some of the clinics. I was
Christy has a question about how come we don't have video up on the page. I think that's a great answer, or a great question.
So do you want to answer that, or you want me to?
Well, I think we should both answer it. So let me come to you guys from my point of view as an IT guy. I mean, video is large. Video is you go out there, and this is why we have our YouTube channel. So we're going to be doing a lot of great information here as well, and this is free to you guys. And we've also got our Facebook page that I would recommend you guys get on there and check out. But back to the topic. In here, I don't know how you guys feel as PAs. If that's something you really want as a distraction, we'd love to hear from you. And if it's something, we have all the video, and we've been posting it. But from my point of view, I think I'd love to be able to hear and follow the book along, because that's really what the lecture is about. And you take it from there, Wes. Tell me what you think.
Well, I think that's a good point, because two things. One is you want it portable. You want to be able to listen to it anywhere. And I think Joe's teaching style is you're able to listen to it and understand the concepts without having the visuals there. Like the hepatitis video is a perfect example of that. So when he teaches in a context of, you're going to get the concept because I'm giving you the objects and the information you need to think about. He doesn't have to have a picture of a hepatitis virus with the subway antigen, meaning the antigen on the capsule, and then showing you the antibody, the IgG,
Well, and we're going to be adding
anti-IgE.
that stuff
So
here in the document, right? We're going to be putting some of these things in. I know we've talked about
yeah, we're
that
gonna have some
before.
links. Well, I guess my whole point is a little long-winded. Is his teaching style is, you can watch the video and see him walking around the room explaining things, or you can write notes and look at it. And we've gone through both, and um, for what you get, it's kind of more of a distraction than anything else. And those things that we think, where he's explaining like placenta abrupta, or he's using visuals, we're definitely going to add the
Yeah,
video
we'll
to
be
that. But
adding those. Yeah.
we have days and days of video that we just found out, thought it was a cleaner and a more direct approach. What about that question about the CMEs? I wanted to bring that up real quick. I think that's a good
Yeah.
question. A lot of feedback we got from students at Irvine also. Right now, what you can receive as somebody who's already certified is 21 hours of CME2. We are in the works to get CME1 credits. It's very, they've made it very, very expensive to do it, but that's something that we want to do, and we're working on that. We've been asked about that. People who attend Joe's class, people recertifying, they will actually be able to receive CME1s. That's a little bit more straightforward as far as getting that approved and the cost. I think the cost to have an online CME is somewhere around $10,000 just to get the hours on there. So it's very, very the cost is a big
Hurdle.
hurdle right now. But that's something goal we want to have as we get more people signing up, as we get we will be able to do that. But I know it's something people are asking for. It's something that one of the things I've had in my vision for this website that we're definitely working on for. So that's something we want to take care of here as soon as we can.
Yeah, for sure. Well, let's kind of wrap this up. I think one thing we'd like to leave you with is if you guys are interested in doing any of these on a more regular basis, if I can get maybe, what do you think, Wes? Maybe 5 or 6 people
Yeah.
that really want to chat. I mean, Wes and I do this kind of thing almost every night because he lives a little further away. So he and I sit and work on the computer late at night, and we just go through this webinar just between the two of us and talk about what's going on with the site. So if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, just leave us a little question about or leave us send us an email, say, hey, we'd like to talk about this, or send us questions. I mean,
send questions to Wes at paboardreview.com so that when we jump into these quick webinars, we can answer those questions. We can get them on to Joe. Joe can answer them. We can jump on. We know time is the limiting factor. Time and money are the limiting factor for me and my family and my work. And so those are the things we're trying to, decrease as far as the need for time and the need for money. So
yeah, exactly. Make this as an efficient process as we possibly can. So on that note, I'd really like to thank everybody. We got a lot of people here today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and Joe, thanks you, and we're really excited about what's going on. And this is our first webinar, so make sure you go and like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, and keep up to date on what we're doing. And again, if you guys have questions, leave them with us, and we'll go from there.
Good.
All right, guys.
All right. Ciao.
Ciao. Have a good day. Talk to you later.